Let's talk about a man that inspired others, inspired the whole community, but also inspired me. What's up, everybody? It is your boy Ray Live, and today we have another video, but it's gonna be another remembering type video like I did when Kobe Bryant passed. But this time, this hits on another scale for me, because I've been watching this man's career, at least in recent years, and just been inspired by the man and always been looking at him as a great person. If you don't know who I'm talking about Chadwick Boseman. So as I am recording this, it's been 2 days since the news broke out about it. Not even like a full 2 days, but if you didn't know, Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43 because he had colon cancer, stage 4 colon cancer at the point when he died. He was diagnosed with colon cancer stage 3 in the year 2016. So, I'm just gonna say that real quick. A lot of things that people don't know about Chadwick Boseman is that, well, him and I are from the same hometown, Anderson, South Carolina. And in our hometown, we don't got much, at least of people to look up to in the communities, to be like, well, they made it out and they made like a big name for themselves. Really, the only 2 reasons why Anderson is on people's radars is, one, because of the radio movie that starred Cuba Gooding Jr. I believe that's how you say his name. But other than that movie, you had Chadwick Boseman. And for the most known reason for him now is because he played Black Panther. Now, I've been seeing news articles, I've been seeing tweets, I've been seeing, Snapchat stories. I've been seeing everything from people just around the world just saying, they highlight his Black Panther because that's the one that got a lot of people going for all of the right reasons. But it does something to me when I just see him just being known as the Black Panther actor, as if he hasn't done any other roles. Even Black Panther's not even his most recent role that he has portrayed. But I see why people put that together. That's like his most popular role for, like I said, all the right reasons. But when I just see him just refer to that, I ask people, have you seen like some of his other movies? Some people say yes, some people say no, and some people just ask, what else has he worked on? For me, Chadwick Boseman, the first movie I have seen Chadwick Boseman in was the Jackie Robinson movie, 42. And I watched that movie not knowing who Chadwick Boseman was, but I was told that, he's from the same area as me. because he went to the rival high school of mine, which are both in the same city. So that one was cool. That was cool to hear that. Hey, we have a whole actor out here putting in work that's from my area. So that gave me something to look up to. That was like, I could do something like that. I can be not here. I can be, out there with an actual name on me. I can be something that somebody looks at, because 42 to me was how I was introduced to him, how I looked at his acting. For me, how he would build off of that. And Jackie Robinson, I wasn't much into baseball. I played the sport, when I was younger, but I wasn't all into baseball. And the Jackie Robinson story, something I just really didn't pay attention to. I was like, cool, he was the first African American to play on a Major League Baseball team, but that was it for me. So when I actually saw the story portrayed by him, the way how he acted, made me look into the story more for Jackie Robinson. But it also made me look at the actor more. And he's been doing other smaller roles throughout his whole career. And some of those roles, they are the stereotypical roles that, they hand off to, African Americans, or as I should say, black actors in the industry world. But after the Jackie Robinson movie, the other movies that he put out, the James Brown movie, Get On Up. You had, on later years, Black Panther, Captain America: Civil War, where he was introduced as Black Panther, both Infinity War and Endgame, and 21 Bridges, Marshall. He also appeared in the Five Bloods that's on Netflix, and he also did like some other movies, throughout his time. One movie I remember watching that I knew when I saw the trailers for this movie I wasn't going to be into it as much, because I'm not into the whole drafting process for like the NFL. But the movie, I think, was called Draft Day, and Chadwick Boseman, he was in it as a player just trying to get drafted, and I didn't know that he was gonna be in it, but I was watching the movie. It was better than I thought it would be, but it still was like an okay movie. But I was more intrigued just to watch how he acted in the movie, how he played his role in the movie, and I liked his performance in that. I really liked his performance in James Brown. Get On Up. That to me is one of his best performances, because I like James Brown. There's a certain way you have to sound when you're James Brown, and he nailed it. He just straight up nailed it. So for him to do those movies was cool, nonetheless. But remember, since I said he was diagnosed with in 2016. A lot of movies that I named, he worked and acted on while battling colon cancer to give us his acting presence in some of the best movies that we have ever seen, that we keep on talking about to this day. If you think about it, in the middle of all that, from 2016 to now here in 2020, he's given us he worked on, during this whole colon cancer thing, he worked on Captain America: Civil War. He worked on both Infinity War and Endgame. He worked on 21 Bridges. He worked on Black Panther. He did Marshall. I got two movies mixed up, Marshall and The Five Bloods. Those are all movies that were released in between 2016 to 2020. And he had to work during that time for the movie production wise for all of those films. And I don't know how you work with a man knowing that he has what he has, and still, one, to still let him work, and two, let him work and he gives you the best that he has, and the movies do the best that they can possibly do. Because Black Panther, Marshall, Get On Up, 21 Bridges, those are all movies that all have been nominated, won awards, with this man's name tied to them. So that's crazy on that end. Now, that's him in the movies. That's him in the movies. I respect that man in the movies. He gives all of us something to look forward to every single time we see his name on the screen. Every single time we see his face in the movie. Every single time we just see him, we know we're gonna get something good out of him. Now, also while battling, all this stuff, he's got, he was man enough to even, I wouldn't say man enough, he was strong enough to even go out to, like hospitals like St. Jude and all, meet with kids that's battling cancer like he was. That does something else. That literally does something else to you, because when you first see him go out, it's just like, oh, all actors, they just go out to, make their name, look good and all and whatnot. This man did it knowing he had it, and still put a smile on all those kids' faces to give them something to look forward to when they're done with their battles. Also, I think I skipped through it. Nobody knew. Literally, we all questioned it at a point for his health earlier on, when it was like Jackie Robinson Day, and he was speaking and whatever, and we just saw how the weight loss on him was. And for me, I was like, it might be for a role, but if it's not for a role, I hope he's doing okay. And that's why I left it at, because nobody in public said, oh yeah, Chadwick Boseman got colon cancer. If people would have heard that the way they hear it now, it's like, why is he doing the movies? He's got a disease that he needs to just battle and fight through. The man battled and fought through colon cancer for those 4 years, working his butt off, acting his butt off, giving us some of the best movies that we have out today while battling colon cancer. If that's not strong, I do not know what strong is. I'm gonna be jumping around here and there. So like, earlier when I said people just like respect him all for the whole Black Panther thing, I cannot stress to you enough how many times I've seen a hashtag Wakanda Forever. And I remember seeing one post, it was like, the continent of Africa mourns for its king. And when I saw that one, I was like, I was like, okay, I get it. He played a fictional character that was from Africa. But the man himself is an American, an African American, that displayed a fictional role of a fictional king from a fictional country in Africa. And I was like, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna say nothing to it or about it. I'm just gonna let it be. And still today, I'm still seeing a bunch of posts of just Black Panther himself I know Marvel, they had to do their thing where they said, where they post, like, Chadwick Boseman as the character that he portrayed. And I know a lot of people are probably asking, well, what are they going to do with Black Panther now? What possibly can they do? I've seen some people say that, they shouldn't touch the property again. Like, they should not mess with it because they feel like it shouldn't be messed with. And to me, I say they can still mess with the Black Panther, story. It's gonna have to be changed. I don't see a possible recasting for him. Instead, there's a variation to where there's a female Black Panther. And if I'm right, I forget who necessarily plays Black Panther when it's a girl, but that's one way that they can go about it. Now, will people like it? I don't know, but I feel like that's one way to go at it, other than changing the actor itself, because the immersion in there will mess with a lot of people. Now, the reason why people, well, I don't even say the reason why people, I will say this is the reason why I like the movie Black Panther. So, the reason why I like Black Panther is because for the first time in a long time, or maybe the first time ever, this is the first movie that I have seen with with a majority black cast, with a black director, and it wasn't your stereotypical black movie. What I mean by that, it wasn't your Tyler Perry movie, it wasn't your Friday type movie. It was showing the excellence, the intelligence of how great we as a people are, what we can be, and what we will be. There's royalty at the end of it. Like, the fact that there's zero ghetto moment in that movie that does, that you just laughed at in like those other type movies because they were just ghetto or ratchet or whatever. Black Panther didn't give you that. Black Panther gave you a story, good action, and a whole narrative without having to be a stereotypical black movie. And that is why I like Black Panther. And it's crazy because when Black Panther came out, a whole lot of black people came out of nowhere just to watch that movie because black lead, black cast, royalty. A lot of these people haven't even seen any other Marvel film. They came because they saw how great this movie could be with the actors, the director, and the narrative it all had. I remember I saw the movie twice. I saw that movie twice. One was on a free movie night when I was in school, and the other was when I was at home, because that was a movie that we just had to see. And now, people, they look up to Black Panther. They have something for the kids to look up to, as a black superhero, as something more than just being nothing. It was a great inspiration for kids. It's a great inspiration around the world, actually. You'll be surprised how many people around the world took note of Black Panther, took note of Chadwick Boseman, and it affected their lives as well. So for me, when I heard that he passed, was first I was like, you know, I'm gonna let it be officiated. I'll let it be known officially first, because I didn't believe it. And then all the news, all of the posts, I seen those, and eventually when it hit, like, you know, his official Twitter, Instagram, it got like a little net flying around in here. When that finally all hit, it became real. Chadwick Boseman dies at 43. So to me, Chadwick Boseman, for us being in the hometown, it's crazy here. It's crazy everywhere. But the man gave us some great movies and a great legacy to even die at a young age. So to me, he is a hero. He is a king, a young king at that. I wish we had more movies and stuff with him, but sadly, he's gone. And now we gotta figure out how we're gonna move on in 2020 without another great person to live in it. Also another side factor, you know, I didn't mention it, but you know, also during time with his colon cancer, he gave us the best comedic performance that he could ever do, which was on SNL when he hosted. That to me was goated, because everybody knows the Black Jeopardy SNL skit with Chadwick Boseman playing as T'Challa. Everybody knows that skit. Everybody knows it. It was such a great skit. And also, there was also other skits in that Saturday Night Live that was also really great. But I know a lot of us we like that Black Jeopardy with Black Panther, so that was cool. I have one more thing I forgot to hit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hit me when I try to end this video. Oh yeah. So I just thought about it. This hit me because I was actually about to end the video. Because you know, it was rumored. One thing I was gonna look forward to him, because one of his niches when he was acting was playing historic, you know, black people, really. So like with Jackie Robinson and James Brown, he was also going, or it was rumored that he was going to portray the first black samurai, the Afro samurai. I was going to lose my stuff if we ever saw a trailer with that man doing the Afro samurai story. That would have been something. It would have been great. If they still tried to do that movie, I would still watch it, but it's gonna hit differently when I watch it, because in my mind I'm gonna be thinking, what would Chadwick Boseman would have done in that role? And also, this is just me nitpicking at this point. This is also going back to y'all Black Panther people, just only referring them to that. Y'all liked them so much as Black Panther, you took the one thing out of that movie with the arms crossed saying Wakanda forever and made that whole thing a meme. This man did not need to do that this whole entire career after Black Panther. Like, even for movies that was not even Marvel related, it was like, hey, can you do the this is Wakanda forever for us, because that's all y'all knew him by, and I hated that. Even that one year he was the judge for the was it the NBA dunk contest? I forgot what year it was. I don't know if it was last year's, or it was the last one, or the year before. But when they announced this man, since he was one of the judges, since they announced this man as the king of Wakanda, not saying like where he's actually from, like everybody else. You could have said where he's from, what he has done, Chadwick Boseman. But what you had to say was the king of Wakanda, your Black Panther, or something along those lines. That's just all basically what they were saying. Chadwick Boseman. I really did not like that. I know a lot of other people liked it, because that's what you just be doing with him. They just notify him as the Black Panther. But to me, he was more than just the Black Panther. He was everything. He was inspiration for a whole community. Like, just go back and look at all the different interviews that he's done before Black Panther, during Black Panther, and after Black Panther. He says some real good stuff, and he has done some real good things. We are all gonna miss you, Chad, but sadly, it's over. And I just want to let you know, Chadwick Boseman, job well done.